Take a look at this shirt. It's tattered. Take a look at this shirt. It's tattered, it's old, it's... Hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my video. My students are doing their first speech in my speech and debate class, and I can't wait. It's a speech of introduction, a 2-minute speech. They have to introduce themselves using one specific theme, idea, something that makes them, them. I wrote a 2-minute speech as a model for them to see what I want from them, basically. In this video, what I'd like to do is show you the speech, of course, show you the directions and procedures, how I teach the class, and mostly, I want to tell you the rest of the story that I talk about in my speech. The theme of my speech is how I came to China, how I left a normal life in the United States and wound up in China. So let's watch a speech, shall we? Take a look at this shirt. Take a really good look. It's tattered at the collar. The colors are faded. It's torn at the seams. It's even worse from the back. It's the kind of shirt that your mother would not let you out of the house wearing, right? And I'll tell you this, it is almost 20 years old. It's older probably than some of you guys. But I am not throwing it away because this shirt represents so much in the transition I made in my life almost 20 years ago. I was working in San Francisco then. I was an editor for an online news site, and it was a good job. But I had the travel bug. I really wanted to travel. I had always wanted to take an extended trip. And so I started to think about traveling around the world. Long story short, I quit my job, bought a backpack, bought this shirt, and I traveled to more than 30 countries in 6 months. I came to Asia for the first time, to China for the first time, and next thing I knew, I was thinking, hey, I've never lived abroad. I want to experience that. And I found out that, well, if you can open your mouth and English words come out, they'll hire you as a teacher. And that's what I did. This shirt has been with me the whole way as I totally changed my life. It's old, it's tattered, torn at the seams, just like me as I get older. But I'm not giving it up. I'm keeping it as long as it will have me. Thank you for listening. I'm not going to go into too much detail in these directions. My main point is I've heard too many introductory speeches that say, hi everyone, I am a sophomore in the School of Engineering. I come from Jilin Province. I like playing basketball. I play the guzheng, the traditional Chinese instrument, and I have a passion for English, blah, blah, blah. My point with my model speech is I want to show them that they should just pick one theme, maybe an object like my t-shirt, only one thing to develop a good speech and tell the audience what it is that makes you, you. And I spend time explaining that. And after I do that, I usually get much better speeches. Regarding delivery skills, even though this is their first speech, I like to throw them into the deep end. I like to make sure that they're not reading anything, that they are preparing a speech practicing it, and then speaking extemporaneously. I don't want to baby them. Then I give them my little 5-minute lecture on how to be a great public speaker, and that's about it. Now, let me get back to my story of how I came to China. Now let me tell you a little bit more about my story. I was working at Wired when the internet bubble burst. For those who aren't familiar, the economic situation with startup companies, internet companies, was just blowing up in the late 90s. Stock prices were out of their mind. Companies were popping up left and right. People were making millions of dollars. And then suddenly, in 2001, the bubble burst. And long story short, everybody was either losing their job, fearing that they'll lose their job, worried about their future. And that was my situation. In this environment, I was just thinking, all right, what am I going to do when I'm laid off? Because I knew it was going to happen. And so I started to think, and my emotions got the best of me. And I decided that I've always wanted to travel an extended trip. And this is the perfect opportunity, maybe the one and only opportunity. I started to go online, checking out destinations. What's the plane ticket from India to Bangkok? What are the temperatures? What's the best time of year to go to China? And I got so engrossed in this planning. So I was ready. I remember distinctly one day, my boss, he came over to my desk and said, "Jesse, let's have lunch today." And I knew what was coming. We walk into this place, and we sit down, and I'm bracing for the worst. And George tells me, "Jesse, you know that we're laying off a lot of people. We're thinking about firing all the reporters, just running the shop with freelancers. But I want you to know something. Your job is safe." You would think that I would be ecstatic. My job is safe. But I wasn't. I had this whole trip planned out. In my head anyway. And when he told me my job was safe, my thought was, no! But it was good. And I stayed on my job. Only for about another 2 months. By then, the travel bug had really caught me. And eventually, one day, I just quit. Traveled the world. Came to China. Like I said in the video. The rest is penniless history. You may ask, do I have regrets making the choices I've made? Becoming an expat, leaving a steady full-time job. I mean, regrets. It's hard to say regrets. Of course, I miss my friends and family. I miss being home. I miss that all the time. On the other hand, I met my wife here, Summer. We live a wonderful, happy life. We travel a lot. We have adventures. And both of us enjoy our jobs. So regret, that's kind of it's really a difficult question. It's not a fair question. If you could go back and make other decisions, what would your life be like? We never get to know that answer. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up right now. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you have a comment, please leave it below. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And thanks. I'll see you next time.